it's nice to, come back and be in a movie that people really like.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that helps
that helps.
when the reviews are as good as they've been for this. And
I mean, I don't read them, but I hear they're really
oh, you don't read your reviews?
No, never.
Really?
Never.
You never have?
Never. Never.
Why is that? You just
Because you can end up like Kay Stone, having nervous breakdown. Oh, for God's sake. What is it?
Don't hang up. Just one question. Does your room face the street or the courtyard?
I don't know.
Just answer the question. Is it facing the street or
The courtyard.
Okay. I need you to go to the window. Look at what floor are you on?
I'm on the 3rd floor, I believe.
3rd floor. Okay, perfect. Look across the street. You see the open window with a bowl of fruit on the table? You see it?
I do.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna make an apple appear in that bowl. And if I do, you're gonna blow off your little rendezvous.
No.
Come watch me play.
I'm not agreeing to anything.
All right, we
no.
don't have to agree to anything. I'm gonna do it anyway, okay? 1, 2, 3. I'll leave a ticket for you at the box office.
welcome to the actor's side. And I've been waiting a while because I don't think she's made a feature film in 7 years. And so we've been waiting that long to have Gwyneth Paltrow on the actor's side. Is that right? 7 years?
Yeah. I mean, sort of more because it was like one day in a Marvel movie 7 years
Right.
ago. But yeah.
You recreated Pepper again.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And a few times for that.
Yes, many times.
But yeah, I looked and going back between Marty Supreme, which is your return, if we want to say, I think you almost go back to 2015 Mordecai with Johnny Depp, which was the last time you probably created a new character.
Wow. Was that the last time? That's crazy. It's a while ago.
It's a while ago.
Yeah.
So that begs the question, why?
Why?
I know you've been answering this, but it is, such a stellar career and everything. And also, your whole family, everybody you're connected with is in show business in one way or another.
Pretty much.
So
Pretty much.
you're not only born to it, you're connected in so many ways.
Yeah.
You just sort of said no.
Well, yeah, I ended up taking a big break, I think. Really those 10 years since I've did that film that you mentioned, it was sort of like critical time in my kid's life and in the building of my business's life. And I don't know, I felt like a deep calling to kind of go sideways for a minute and redefine the terms a little bit that I was living my life on. And then this movie came along and I wasn't familiar with Josh's work. That's kind of how out of the
Wow.
film.
So you weren't even seeing movies and
Not really, which is quite curious. I think, I don't know, I feel like I just sort of put the whole thing down for a minute.
Yeah.
And I had never seen Timothy in a movie, and
Wow.
I know it's so embarrassing. So, so I did some research and I was like, wow, these guys, these are really,
Like,
this is really the A team here that we're dealing with. And it just so happened that it was also when my nest was emptying out. And so I thought, okay, why the heck not? I'll go to New York City and do this film.
So when you're away from the cameras, movie cameras and things, do you ever feel like insecure that you might like not remember how to do it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Really?
Really. I was very nervous, very, very nervous. I think it's because it's so difficult to honestly understand how one acts in a movie. There's like of course you learn your lines and all those things, but then what happens to fill it all in is very mysterious.
Yeah.
And so I thought, like, is that going to come back to me? Am I going to be able to do it? And luckily, the first day that I was on set was a scene where we were rehearsing a play.
Yeah.
And we were figuring out the blocking. I don't know, it all felt very organic and I felt very comfortable very quickly.
What I loved, and there's so many things I love about this movie, Marty Supreme, but in your performance too, you're playing Kay Stone. So she's an actress. She gave it up, got a whole other life with this guy that sells a mogul in ink pens or something.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary, by the way, I got to ask you about him because I watch Shark Tank a lot, and that's got to be pretty wild. But she's coming back to acting herself
Yes.
after this hiatus. So it is kind of a weird role.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely something very meta about it, which I think Josh really liked. And I think he kept saying he was so happy that he had been the one to convince me to come back.
Yeah.
And, of course, then there were parallels in the role and in my own life that, for example, and there were just, I felt like I understand this woman a lot, even though she's made some different choices than I have and is probably more consistently heartbroken than I am, but
Right.
I understood her, I felt.
Yeah, she's a really interesting
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I even wanted more screen time for you in this
Oh, well,
too.
thanks.
I really did. I mean, because so much of it is said with your eyes and your looks, and you've done that in film after film. You are one of those actors that can convey it without a lot of dialogue.
Thank you.
And we know exactly what she's thinking.
Mhm.
And
Thank you.
she is a woman of mystery, and and you just see her, and so much is said that way.
Yeah. And I think what was so interesting for me to play was, she's really on this amazing kind of journey in the movie where we see her at this hotel lobby in London in the beginning, and she's like a shell of a person. I wanted to sort of convey that she wasn't really all there.
Yeah.
And then over the course of the film, you see the Timothy character, Marty, kind of light this spark in her that she's sort of trying to source where it's coming from and what she's going to do with it.
Exactly.
And then he brings her back. Like you see some girlishness start to come back in,
Yeah, you can see totally where her she's lighting up again.
Yeah.
From wherever dark place she's been in.
Yeah.
And in this marriage, Kevin O'Leary, who's never acted before,
Never.
he's extraordinary.
I know.
Like when they say a natural, I mean, I
He's a
totally
natural. It's incredible. In fact, the other night after the premiere, I was talking to a friend and she said, God, I can't place that actor. He's the character actor. I've seen him before. And I said, no, he's not. It's Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. And my friend was so stunned.
I mean, I know Josh Safdie cast him because he sort of wanted an asshole, as he said, or somebody like that. And that's kind of the image he has.
Yeah, for sure.
Although he's not that guy really. But in this movie, it's so natural. I kept thinking, what about all the actors there that have like worked for decades and they're going like, I could have played that role.
But I think Josh, that's part of the, deeply imaginative part of Josh that always wants to be doing something fresh and really surprising. Like I think he loves to be a little bit punk rock in that way and surprise the audience, almost surprise the audience with me coming back, surprise the audience with someone like Kevin O'Leary in a main part, and casting these amazing non-actors because they have a period face, as he says. So he's always, I think, trying to bring a new surprising element.
Yeah, that casting director did a terrific job. When I reviewed this, I made sure to put her name in there because it's not just professional actors. It's a lot of what they call street casting.
Yeah.
And it's, it really takes a talent to do that.
It really does. And boy, is she good at it. I mean, I love like the guy who works at the shoe shop, down by that face, and she's scouring the world to find these amazing characters.
Which is amazing. I've seen his movies with his brother, Josh, and Benny Safdie too. Here he's going solo again, but it's unmistakably the guy that made Uncut Gems.
It sure is.
And you did see that finally.
I know, absolutely. I absolutely saw it. I mean, it wasn't a very relaxing experience.
No, it's intense, but yeah. I don't know that Marty Supreme is a relaxing experience.
Not at all.
It's an adventure that you're taking on in this.
It's true. Is that how you would define the genre of this film, an adventure?
Well, I wouldn't call it an adventure movie to tell people, but it's definitely, I don't know how you define it. It's funny. It's dramatic. It's
Yeah.
actually poignant in some
I
ways.
know.
With your character, I thought very poignant to watch her.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Sad, tragic character.
And it's interesting that you started with the scene where you are coming back
Yes.
as an actor. Was that on purpose that he?
I don't think so, but for me, it was so serendipitous, and I felt very lucky that that was the case because
Yeah.
I started in theater and have done a million plays, and
Yeah.
I feel comfortable on the stage, and because the camera was far away, and I sort of felt like I was getting my sea legs underneath me.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that, about stage. I don't think you've done one since Proof.
That's right.
So we're talking 23 years.
A long time.
Long
Too
time.
long.
Do you, and you did it in the movies so brilliantly too with Anthony Hopkins, but did you want to ever go back on the stage? Did that appeal to you, or because you're so good in
Definitely.
that?
I almost, when my kids were little in London, I almost did another play, and I didn't at the last minute because I just realized with the schedule I would not see them for the whole run of the play. But I would love to do another play. I promised my mother at some point I'll do something in New York. So
The Great Blythe Banner.
the Great Live.
Yeah, I mean, she's done so many great. I'm a big fan of hers, and
Thank you.
yeah, I
I'll
mean,
tell
you know, she's done so many great performances.
She really has.
You know, and she never, well, she has gotten recognition, obviously, but never got the recognition of her daughter in
Yeah.
terms of Oscars and Golden Globes and Emmys and things like
Well,
that.
she did win. I think she won 2 Emmys
Oh,
actually.
she won Emmys. Okay.
And
Great.
she won a Tony when
Yeah, that I knew.
when she was 26.
Yeah, okay. All
So
right.
she got some, but I think she also didn't feel, I think she was a bit shy to sort of really pursue like a movie career, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it was of that age where still Broadway was kind of the most beloved choice. And
Yeah.
so it's amazing. I mean, she turned down some unbelievable movies, which when I'm her daughter, so I know what they are. And I'm just like,
Wow.
wow.
Really?
Yeah, really.
And she turned them down. Why?
I think she, I think certain life things were, but also I'm not sure she really had the desire to pursue a career like that. I
That's
think,
interesting.
yeah, I think there was something about it that seemed, I don't know, maybe too much for her, overwhelming or something.
Did you sort of catch that in the last 7 years?
I think I did. I inherited that from her as
A
well.
little bit of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you've come back, are you happy?
Yeah.
Is this?
I am happy. I just had such a great time making the film,
Mhm.
and it was very nice for me to reconnect with that part of myself that had done this for such a long time with so much intention, and it's nice to, come back and be in a movie that people really like.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that helps.
that helps.
When the reviews are as good as they've been for this, and
I mean, I don't read them, but I hear they're really
oh, you don't read your reviews?
No, never.
Really?
Never.
You never have?
Never. Never.
Why is that? You just
Because you can end up like Kay Stone, having nervous breakdown.
Well, actually, in the movie,
Yeah.
she is like devastated by
Completely.
the reviews.
Completely devastated.
God, yeah. For an actor, that's got to be rough. If you.
I think I learned a long time ago. No, let's not. Let's
Oh,
not do
okay.
it.
Well, my review was good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Since you're never going to read it, but that's cool. I don't read them after I write them. Tell you the truth,
Right.
I don't want to go like, oh, what did I say? Oh God.
Never, you never go back.
No, I never go back.
Interesting.
I always go forward, which is good. But I want to go back with you because I
Okay.
have the Wikipedia lineup here
Boy.
of everything. And boy, you have worked with some of the greats, even when we didn't know they were the greats.
That's
You were in Paul Thomas Anderson's first film.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, Hard Eight.
Yeah.
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 Did you know then he was going to be this iconic auteur?
I thought so. I mean, I really felt like there was something incredibly special about him, and he had this amazing passion, and like he had all the things that make you great, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean, I just saw him last night at an event, and he's the nicest guy
Yeah.
too, but
Mhm.
he's having a run,
Yeah,
right now
he sure
as
is.
well. But I mean, when you start out, Steven Spielberg's your godfather.
Yeah.
So
Nepo baby.
Nepo,
Nepo baby.
you were in Hook.
Nepo God baby. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were Wendy.
Yes, I was Wendy. He gave me the part. It was fantastic. I didn't have to even audition for it.
And that was right at the beginning of your
Yeah, I
career.
think I was 17 or 18.
Wow. And
That was more of a lark, I think, than really. Yeah. He was just being nice, I think.
yeah, but did you kind of get the bug of this is fun and
Oh, yes. Are you
yeah,
kidding? I mean,
big sets like
oh,
Rubber Hook, yeah.
oh my gosh. And the sound stages and the craft service and the
Yeah.
green screens and the boats. I mean, I was just blown away by that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my
I
God.
thought, yeah, this is great. This is what I want to do.
Yeah. Did you growing up, the daughter not only of Blythe Danner, but also great director, filmmaker Bruce Paltrow, White Shadow, still one of my favorite shows
Great.
ever.
Yeah, really
Great
good.
show.
Thank you.
And all of that in your background growing up, was that something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was all I knew, really.
Yeah.
I grew up, I was on sets. I was, uh, you know, roller skating underneath Lincoln Center. I was, watching Chekhov and Shakespeare, and I was just completely inculcated in that, that idea that theater and art and expression is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mhm.
So many great movies early on here. Seven, that's David Fincher.
Yeah,
An amazing movie right there.
incredible movie.
Yeah,
I
still
mean,
is.
I think so. It really became a thing that was a cultural moment. It stood the test of time.
Yeah. And when you were making that, did you feel like, oh God, because David Fincher's known for taking a lot of takes and things. Yeah.
We didn't do that. This
Really?
is like pre the 2000 take David Fincher.
I know, because a lot of actors, Frank Sinatra famously said, if it's one take and out, that's it. But,
Yeah. Well, I don't have that kind of power, and I certainly didn't back then. But no, we did normal amounts,
Yeah.
5 or 6,
Right.
3, 4, I don't know, and that was it.
Well, he's, amazing movies. Emma is one of your best ever.
Thank you. I do love that movie.
Jane Austen, you really nailed it in every way
Thank
in
you
that.
so much.
And critics, I know you didn't read them, but they noticed
That's
on that.
so nice. I had the best time doing that movie, and it was my first starring role. And
Yeah.
it was
So
very exciting.
that was a big transition. Suddenly you were number one on the call
It
sheet.
sure was.
Is that important? There's a documentary out now called Number One on the Call Sheet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's about it's mainly about Black actors and why it was very difficult to become number one on the call sheet. But it's an interesting thing to have that responsibility, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is. You feel very conspicuous when you're number one on the call sheet.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Shakespeare in Love,
Yeah.
an Oscar.
Yeah.
And what a great movie. I was there at the Oscars.
You were?
Oh, yeah. Dorothy Chandler Pavilion.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day. And I remember that so well. But that movie was a very difficult movie to get made. It had gone through all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts was going to do it at
That's
one
right.
point and all these things.
Yeah.
They got it so right,
Yeah.
so beautifully made. And your speech at the Oscars was so moving.
Oh, thank you. I was shocked that I won. Even everybody said, "Oh, you're gonna win, you're gonna win." And I said, "No, I'm not. That's an impossibility," and I was completely overwhelmed. I mean, I don't actually remember anything. I remember hearing my name and then it's sort of a blank.
Do you remember the pink dress?
I do remember. I think that dress is more famous than I am.
That dress became very famous.
Yeah.
I guess when you wear that in front of 1 billion people on the Oscars and you're there, but no, that was a great moment, and you were only 26 years old.
I know. That's very young. It's
That's like
very young.
Audrey Hepburn when she won.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
like that. And that's was that a curse or a boon? They say it can be a curse and not. There's a lot of pressure.
I think it's both, I
Mhm.
think it's, of course, the upside is that it's this incredible validation and it's the Oscar. You've grown up seeing pictures of Grace Kelly holding it and
Yeah.
all the greats, and you think, my God, I can't believe this. This is so intensely gratifying and overwhelming. And then it also is a bit paralyzing.
Yeah.
And I think, for me anyway, I didn't know quite what to do after that point.
Yeah.
I I I felt a bit lost and overwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a minute to come back.
Did it define any way of the movies you did after that, of taking certain things or not, or how did that?
I still tried to just follow my instinct and do the things that were interesting to me. And I made some weird choices and some good choices.
What are the
Uh,
weird ones?
like Shallow House.
Yeah, well,
Weird.
yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Mm.
Farrelly Brothers. I love Peter Farrelly. He's been here and he's Green Book, one of my favorites too, but that was a pure Farrelly Brothers
Yeah,
enterprise.
yeah, it
And
was.
and you had to wear a fat suit.
Yeah, which, looking back, I think is probably not so politically correct.
These days, method actors might just put on the weight.
Yes, exactly. Um, so I don't know. I think it's not to cast aspersions on the movie. And a lot of people love that movie.
Yeah,
But I think there was this idea to push me towards more commercial fare, and
right.
it didn't necessarily feel that right to me. I'm the happiest when I'm doing like a complicated person
Yeah.
in an independent film. That's always been my favorite thing.
And that's what you've done so much of, and so many of these films are that.
Yeah.
That on this list.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Sliding Doors
Mhm.
is another great one, and it's a great movie. If you see it now, you're looking at the choices you make in life,
Yeah.
which one, and that
Which
was
one?
literally,
Yeah.
which one.
Yeah. Which
But
one?
I thought that was one of the most interesting scripts you've had.
I love that script. I was completely. I thought it was so like philosophically interesting, and I think it is something that we ask ourselves, like especially around these seminal moments in our lives. And what if I hadn't done that, or what if I never would have met my husband if I didn't walk around this corner if my car hadn't broken down. We all have those things, and it obviously really resonated because like the sliding doors moment became a
Oh,
phrase.
it was great.
Yeah,
That was Miramax, right?
it was.
Yeah, you made so many great movies.
Yeah.
Harvey, I knew very well,
Yeah.
and all of that, and what happened to him. Aside from that, I don't want to take it away from what that company did in its prime,
Yeah.
and allowing these kinds of movies to be made.
Well, I was talking about this earlier, that, um, you know, Miramax was at the time the most incredible place to work. And
Yeah.
obviously, the complications of and the darkness of Harvey Weinstein has been exposed and talked about. But he also was incredible at finding talent and fostering talent and making these amazing movies and really distributing them. And so it's like it's a complicated story. It's
It
not
is.
just binary. And I'm really proud of the movies that I made at Miramax at the time.
Shakespeare in Love also
Yeah.
being one of them. So many
And
of,
Talented Mr. Ripley,
I mean,
and on and on. We made some amazing films. So I'm so, I don't regret the work that I did there at all.
when you look at the state of independent filmmaking today and how difficult it is to get anything made, I just did an interview with this movie called Dead Man's Wire. Gus Van Sant directed it.
Oh wow.
They have 68 executive producers and 14 producers because they had to just keep handing out the title to get the money to get this made in 19 days.
Wow.
With Gus Van Sant and a
Wow.
terrific cast. It's so difficult now. And I
So
think what Miramax did, that was kind of the golden age of this indie kind
Yeah.
of thing.
People still went to the movies, so it was a viable business model,
Yeah.
and now it's very, very different. And, it's my hope that people keep going to the movies and keep
Yeah.
cinema alive and keep independent cinema alive. I think it's very important for us culturally. I think independent cinema is where new ideas come through and there are breakthroughs, and new genres come out, and I love it so much, and I really hope that, not that streaming as a whole, is a terrible thing, but I do think that when creative decisions are made by an algorithm, it's it it's not coming from a place of raw human expression. It's like things are being tailored to what people have liked before.
Yeah.
And I think so things become slightly reductive. And so I really hope that independent cinema stays alive.
Well, somebody like Gwyneth Paltrow can come in and say, I will make this movie. I'm trying to encourage you to make another
Well,
movie
thank
after
you.
Marty Supreme.
Thank
Because I'm guessing you haven't picked one yet.
That's true. How did you know that?
I'm just sensing it.
Wow, you're good.
Yeah, but it's like, if the stars who have the clout and can get these made, can help them get made, that's the only thing that's going to do it, really. Filmmakers, on a certain level.
But if it's always going to be, if it's a money losing enterprise, I worry that even, for the love of it and the art of it, so I'm hoping that it's still something that is important to people, and they still go to the movie theater.
Yeah, well, we have to save the movie theaters.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. And the communal experience, when you see these movies, it's so different than when you're watching it on your couch by yourself.
No.
It's not a movie,
No,
really.
exactly.
And I hope the generations growing up, I don't want to sound like these kids today, but watching movies on their phones and things like that, and always on their phones, you go from one screen to another,
I know.
is not the way I remember it. I was a movie kid,
Me
and
too. And you just lose the majesty of it,
Yeah.
and you lose like that all-encompassing feeling of being in another world, and it's so magical. So
yeah. Um, then you flipped and you got to do Marvel, and you became a important part of the Marvel universe with Iron Man and Pepper Potts and all of
yes,
that.
that's true.
And was that fun to be in that complete opposite of doing a lot of these indie movies?
It was fun. I mean, especially the first Iron Man, because
Mhm.
the spirit of it was like very independent. They didn't expect much from the movie. It wasn't a huge investment. They were really trying to establish the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And we kind of improvised the whole thing. And John at that point had just directed independent films. And it felt very lo-fi in a way, and I think that's why um, it's such a delightful film, because it's really at its heart, it's about, this relationship and sort of screwball comedy between Pepper and Tony.
And Tony, great Robert Downey Jr.
Like the best,
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
the best, the funniest and the best.
Yeah, and did you know when you did that first one, you would be doing it in every Avengers movie and all these others that you've popped into, and
No.
that you're signing on for a whole
Yeah, I think I signed on for 2 movies when I did the first one.
Oh,
So I knew there would be a second one in success, but nothing
Yeah.
after that.
and then a third, and then
And then, yeah.
all of this going on, continually. Well, obviously that's a formula that works too. And
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Getting back to Marty Supreme, though, that is a true independent movie
Yeah.
in its own
It
ways.
is.
Yeah. I mean, so that kind of movie is A24,
Yeah.
which made it and has had great success in marketing these films.
Yeah.
I just saw on the news the other day, all these people were lined up around the block in East Hollywood for what they called a Marty Supreme pop-up store. And they were trying to buy merchandise. It was kind of like a Marvel thing, they're trying to get their hands on things.
That's wild. It's I've certainly never seen anything like that for this
No.
kind of a film.
No, for this kind of a film, it hasn't even opened,
I
at that
know.
point.
It's very clever. I think, Timothy really is the mastermind behind this whole marketing thing. I mean, he really is so clever, and he knows, I'm so impressed with his marketing skills. He's really the author of it all.
Is that's unique among actors you've worked with, that they get so involved in
I've never seen, no, ever. I've never seen anybody generate this kind of interest in a film by, employing these incredibly creative tactics and merch and all the things. I mean,
Wow.
I've never seen it before.
So what was he like to work with? And I love the whole idea of the May-December flip, that
Yeah.
this time it's the woman and not the older guy and the younger woman, which Hollywood has, trafficked in for decades.
That's right.
And this time it's different.
This time it's different. And obviously there's a big age difference between us, but I like that it wasn't a big plot point, like in, the Mrs. Robinson movie.
The Graduate.
The Graduate.
Yeah.
It's sort of, yes, there's an age difference and there's a power differential, but it's really about the fact that these two hustlers
Yeah.
recognize each other, and it's very deeply transactional, but
Yeah.
everybody knows what the other one wants, and so it's very honest in a way.
It was. Yeah. And it's very much that. And he's this kid who's on the way up in his mind. You're someone who feels like you're on the downward path.
Yes,
And then you meet in the middle,
that's right.
literally,
Literally.
in very steamy scenes. which which is great. I read about this months ago when you were making it, or when they're talking about it initially, and they kept building up that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Oh, what is the Gwyneth Paltrow and Timothy Chalamet?
It wasn't that flagrant, but I think it's because the paparazzi saw us kissing in Central Park, and it kind of went around the world. And
Oh
so,
my God.
yeah, people imagined that it would be a lot more naked than it was.
But still,
There's still some sex.
yeah, you had intimacy coordinators now.
Yes.
And now, when you were, like, the last time you made, like, these films, you didn't have that.
No.
This is relatively new. This is actually tying into Harvey Weinstein. This is all coming out of the Me Too movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Downstream impact of all that. Yeah, I was really stunned that there was such a thing called an intimacy coordinator.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. For me, I was like, oh, this is so strange. Like so I asked if it was okay if we could just do it the way that I knew how to do it, which was without it being very choreographed, because that sort of made me more self-conscious in a way.
Right.
But I'm so glad that they exist, and that for this generation, that now there's some guardrails for people around that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Well, they turned out good in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's the bottom line, is the director gets it. But it is good that they have these kind of
I
things.
think so too. And then you can use them or not use them, but
Mhm.
they're there, which I think is great.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this movie, I'm going to tell you, is opening Christmas Day. As we're talking, we're taping this in advance, but it is Christmas Eve. And this is our holiday show
Okay.
with Gwyneth Paltrow. So I wish you season's greetings and happy holidays, and everybody here. Go see Marty Supreme. It's in your local theater. It's a wide release, and it may not be the typical holiday movie, but it's definitely worth seeing, and will brighten your spirits to see Gwyneth Paltrow back on the big screen. Hopefully many more times. Thank you for joining us on the Actor's Side.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.